Ladies and gentlemen, the FOMC meeting, the interest rates decision, is the main mechanism through which the Federal Reserve can manage the economy, quite frankly. And so obviously this has massive impacts on financial markets. Now we have a situation in which the market is basically expecting a pause, a continued pause. They're not expecting any surprise cut here. There's a 99% chance in the view of the market that we'll see a continued pause. So it would be a massive shock if they do actually go ahead and cut interest rates in 8 hours. If they do, that would probably lead to a massive pump, but we shouldn't be expecting that. At this point, it looks like a pause is more or less priced in. However, even though a pause is more or less priced in, and that seems to be the likely scenario, we can't know for sure. So it could be very volatile if there is an unexpected cut. But also, the speech that is given by Jerome Powell after the FOMC meeting is guaranteed to have volatile effects in the markets regardless, because the sentiment he puts forward within that speech and what he says about the next meeting is going to be pretty much unpredictable. And sometimes it leads to very big fluctuations in the price. So we can expect something big to happen today. And this is important considering Bitcoin, in my view, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the S&P 500, they're all at pretty critical positions. And we'll get into that today. Before we get into it today, guys, we have an exchange here that has never been hacked before in 3.5 years of being on the market. That is global non-KYC. You can sign up from anywhere in the world and use this exchange without a VPN. And furthermore, with my referral link down below, you can get a 15% trading fee discount attached to your account for life, as well as $8,000 plus USDT in trading rewards added to your account as trading bonuses for signing up with my referral link down below. This is big stuff here. It's an excellent deal. I reached out to them for partnership. They did not reach out to me. I don't get paid by them. The only thing I get is a referral link. And if you want all those things I just mentioned, which you should, trust me, I've done the scouting of the market, you can use my link down below to sign up. It takes 30 seconds and you'll get those rewards and bonuses and you'll help out the channel. I appreciate that, guys. Let's get into the content. Right, so it should be short and sharp. We'll just start out with Bitcoin. We know that Bitcoin's prior macro range was best identified by drawing these lines back from prior cycles. So the 2017 cycle, cutting through 2021, formed our resistance zone, which we tested on 2 occasions. We formed a double top from that resistance, unfortunately, and broke down. We're currently in that local downwards trend, which is not particularly a strong position for Bitcoin to be in. We then have the support zone of that macro range coming from 2021 on 2 occasions and cutting through on multiple occasions. We retested that and we broke down from that, obviously. So Bitcoin's in a breakdown right now, but it's not necessarily in particularly bearish waters. It's in certainly risky waters in the sense that there's a distinction to be made there, because I think bearish territory on Bitcoin, places in which Bitcoin will be pretty much in a bear market, in my view, is if it breaks back below around 70,000 and hence breaks back into the macro range that encompassed the vast majority of 2024. That would be a very clear macro downwards trend, because at that point in time, we would lose the potential to form a higher low here, and it's with higher lows that we can continue upwards and form higher highs. So the macro trend at this point is still intact. We're still in a bull market until we break below that 70K zone. There's also a lot to say about the Gaussian channel. The weekly chart Gaussian channel is at that 70K region. Weekly chart Gaussian channel has been a massively influential indicator on Bitcoin since the first halving. Generally speaking, when we enter it, we move through it, okay? Moving through it. Look at my cursor, moving through it. Every time we enter it, we're moving through it, essentially. And so if we did enter it again, and specifically if we broke below that center line of the Gaussian channel, we would likely move through it, and that would pretty much be Bitcoin entering a bear market. So right now, Bitcoin's not in a bear market. It's still in an upwards trend. And right now, I've actually drawn, in the last couple of videos, I've drawn a lot of similarities between what we did in 2024 and what we're doing right here. The main conclusion I've made is that there could be a potential correlation there. Like 2024, for example, this entire macro range was actually part of a larger kind of descending channel structure. It was a structural macro range. Some sort of descending channel, something like that, is what engulfed that price region. And this time there is, again, a structure, just like 2024, a very vast consolidation after a very rapid move to the upside. So we have a doubling in price in the matter of weeks, and then entering this vast, sweeping consolidation within a pattern. Same kind of thing this time. We doubled in price, effectively, more than doubled in price in a matter of weeks. And now we've entered this vast consolidation, and it's actually in form of a structure, just like in 2024. This time, it's not a descending channel, however, it's actually a descending wedge formation, something like that. And that is a bullish formation. And for that reason, I'm not willing to say the bull market is quite over yet. But specifically, this video is not really tailored around this wedge. We've spoken about the wedge before, and we know that obviously if Bitcoin breaks below the wedge, that's very bad news. We'd basically enter a bear market, breaking 70K, blah, 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 blah. We've gone over it so many times. What we're looking for, obviously, is a break upwards. Not only above the wedge, but above the momentum indicator on the daily chart, which is the RSI. That would line up with a wedge breakout. And we're getting very close to that happening right now. This brings me to FOMC. There's a few things on the Bitcoin chart, on the Ethereum chart, on the S&P 500 chart that are highlighting this event, this FOMC event, as a potential catalyst for a break upwards. Now, it's very difficult to say whether it will actually materialize. It looks like the FOMC meeting, as I said, looks pretty decided, a 99% chance in the market, or the market expecting to a 99% degree of accuracy for a rate pause, a continued rate pause. Doesn't really look like the opportunity for massive volatility, but the speech could be a surprise. We could see a surprise in the speech that could lead to volatility, which could trigger these catalysts. So I'll just go over what they are. Well, first and foremost, as I said, the momentum indicator on Bitcoin, a resistance zone that's been stemming backwards from basically November, is very, very close to breaking right now. We only need a little budge in the price action for that daily RSI chart to break upwards, and that could roll into a breakout as well on the Bitcoin chart over the coming days. On top of that, if we zoom in a little bit closer here, we've got this big wedge here. We're in the 4-hourly chart right now. We're zoomed up. What we can see is that within this broader wedge, Bitcoin actually has kind of another little wedge, not quite a wedge, but more of a triangle, something like this, right? A resistance line, which we're currently testing as we speak. We're literally 50 USD below that line. A momentum breakout on this with high volume surge, with the volatility that the FOMC meeting could provide, could roll into a breakout on the daily chart momentum indicator, which could again roll into a breakout on the Bitcoin broader descending wedge, which could end the uncertainty, which is pretty much being supplied here in endless amounts via this weird price region between 74,000 and 86,000, which we've never really been in before, right? So we could see a domino effect of breakouts here. All we need is a little budge in the right direction, and potentially FOMC could be that budge. It's not just Bitcoin saying that. We look at Ethereum, for example. Ethereum has been getting slaughtered. There's been various macro ranges on Ethereum. I'll highlight a couple of them. One right there, for example, and one just above right here. We broke below both of them, okay? And right now we're just hovering at what looks like a random price region, but there is actually support here. As you can see, it goes back from way back here in 2023. We're hovering right on that support zone. If we zoom right up into the price action, we can see, just like Bitcoin, a little resistance line forming here on Ethereum, right? Right at the brink of breaking that resistance. A breakout there on Ethereum in the 4-hourly chart could roll into something similar like what Bitcoin's doing. It could roll into a breakout of Ethereum's momentum indicator, which is currently something like this, very similar to Bitcoin, which could roll into a broader breakout for Ethereum of something like this kind of line right here, right? So these charts are mirroring each other right now. It's not just Bitcoin, it's not just Ethereum, it's actually rolling into the S&P 500 right now as well. S&P 500, just like Bitcoin, just like Ethereum, right here, testing macro resistance as we speak. Does it break back upwards and flip that zone for support, or does it reject downwards? The point I'm making in this video is recognizing that the long term right now is technically still intact, but it is at risk. The medium term looks quite terrible in a lot of ways, but the short term has an opportunity here to salvage that situation, right? We have the brink of breakout here on Bitcoin in the 4-hourly chart, same deal with Ethereum, which could roll into momentum indicator breakouts on the Bitcoin and Ethereum daily charts, which could roll into a larger breakout. So all we need to do is get the ball rolling, and that ball will roll into a full recovery. But we just need that first little step. Perhaps FOMC could be that first step. It's hard to say. I'm just making a quick little video here today to bring it to your attention. Could be time to pay attention here over the next 24 hours and just see. But I have no real prediction here today. I'm just informing of the situation. We just need to get that ball rolling. I will also just mention another similarity between 2024 and what we're doing right now. One of the similarities, of course, as we mentioned before, was the fact we're seeing a structural consolidation, a very big structural consolidation within a channel formation right here, and this time within a descending wedge formation. But another very big similarity relates back to our critical indicator on the weekly chart, which is the weekly chart Gaussian channel. In 2024, we just rubbed the top of that Gaussian channel. We're doing the exact same thing right now. So let's hope for the same result, which would be a swing back to the upside. Guys, I know the video wasn't as predictive as usual today. There's not really much to predict here. We just have to wait and see. it is that kind of market environment. But of course, you need to react to the market. And the only way you can react to the market is by buying and selling. And that's why I have the Bitunix exchange here for you. It's not just any exchange. This is an exchange that's never been hacked before. In 3.5 years of being live in the market, it's a very, very good track record, guys. We had the Bybit hack, the biggest hack in cryptocurrency history on Bybit just a few weeks ago, and it was brutal. Billions of dollars stolen by North Korean hackers. You want to be on an exchange with a good track record and reserves information available, and that's what Bitunix has. It's also global non-KYC, so you can sign up from anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter who you are. You don't need a VPN. Check it out with my link down below and get a 15% trading fee discount attached to your account for life exclusively with that referral link. So go ahead and use it to sign up. And one more thing here is the VIP group on Telegram. If you want to get altcoin trading signals, you can get them on Telegram. I post them 4 times a week. Check it out. Cheers, guys.